a lot of things that I've learned, I've adapted to myself, which I also recommend you do. So when you see these videos, take what you can from it, maybe start trying it. You'll find things that don't work for you, so you can always change and adapt that. Every budget is not going to look the same, and it shouldn't. Every family is a little bit different. Everyone's priorities are different. Everyone's income is different. So, of course, you want to alter that to your budget. Budget is a very personal thing. Hi everybody, thanks for clicking on this video and welcome to my savings, budgeting, and YouTube journey. On this channel, I experiment with different budgeting styles, savings goals, and I share the strategies I learn along the way. So if that sounds interesting at all to you, please go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to follow my journey. Okay, today it's time for me to do my November monthly budget. It's been a while since I'm filming, so I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So I did plan my November budget. That's going to start for me on November 3rd. For those of you that have been here for a while, you know that my budgets don't start always at the beginning, at the first of the month. They go based on my paycheck. So 2 paychecks per month. Paycheck will start on November 3rd will be my first paycheck, and the second paycheck will be November 17th. So I'm going to go ahead and plan what I think my paychecks will be, because I don't know for sure. I'm not salaried, and then I'll plan where I want everything to go. So what I use, for those of you that are new, for my budgets is just a regular old piece of paper, a calculator, and a pen, of course. And then I usually, every 2 weeks, I go in and I do a bi-weekly budget. So I have my monthly calendar here. This is the Clever Fox Biweekly Budget Book, and I love it. You can find this on YouTube, and you can also find it at cleverfox.com. I did have a discount link. I don't know if it even still works, but let me know if you are interested so that we can get that taken care of. So here is November's budget layout so far. I did set a couple goals, but we'll go over that. I'm not doing a 12-week year right now. I kind of fell off of it, and it's just the timing is not going to work out for me to restart. So I'm going to do the 12-week year on a 4-week basis. So here is November's monthly budget layout. I've already went ahead and plugged in what bills that I have to pay in the month of November, but I'm also going to pay my water bill. It's due on December 1st. It's $60, and I only know that because, of course, I have my cheat sheet. Otherwise, I would have totally forgot. That's the semi-annual that's due December 1st, so, of course, I want to pay it with November's budget and get it out the way. All right, so let me go ahead and get started. I know there's going to be a couple sinking funds that I am going to use in the month of November, or at least that I plan to use. This is all just a projection. I don't know for sure, again, you know, how things will work out, but this is the plan. So this is my November monthly budget projection. I do like to label these, of course, because I am very forgetful, and if I don't, things will not get paid. All right, so let's start with what I think my paychecks will be. I think that paycheck A, which is going to run me from November 3rd to November 16th, I am going to estimate that that's going to be $17.50 based on the overtime that I've done. And I'm going to estimate that the second paycheck, paycheck B, will be about the same. So that's going to bring us to $3,500 total. All right, and then we want to set up any of my budget notes, so special things that I think are going to happen this month, special events. I do have an event that I might go to. It's like a Christmas event. I was going to go with a coworker. She is leaving. She's leaving our job, so she invited me to go to a Christmas event with her at the end of the month. It's a wine kind of event, so it's, of course, my daughter's not going to go with me. I don't do enough stuff without her, so we're going to try that. That might run me, I'm going to say, the ticket is $50, and then I don't know, I'm going to estimate about $75 there. I don't know, we'll see. if I even make it there. But that's going to come from my family fun sinking fund if I do go to that. The next thing, of course, is going to be Black Friday is in the month of November. So if you haven't planned for that, don't forget that's coming up. So I will probably use some of my Christmas budget for gifts. I'm going to say I might use $500. And that's only because my daughter's only getting one gift this year. My plan for Christmas is, as of now, to get my daughter a new laptop. Although I just bought a new laptop a couple months ago, and it's doesn't have a number pad on the side. And because I do so much with numbers and budgeting and accounting for school, I really need that. It's a major inconvenience to have to go to the buttons at the top. I know, first world problems. But I might end up giving her that one and getting myself a new one. It's still brand new, so I would just wipe all of my stuff off of it, get myself something cheaper, and let her have that one. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll see. Depends on what she wants. So that is for her plan. And I also want to get a Christmas tree. That actually might run me about $200. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that in November because Christmas doesn't even have that much money in there. So we'll see. I do plan on putting some more in there this month. But that's just my guesstimate right now is $500 for her laptop. I'm hoping on Black Friday that there's a discount on there. But, we'll see what we can make happen. And then other notes for the month. I need to use my water bill sinking fund for about $60. That is on average. And then I think that's it. That's it. So that is a sinking fund estimate use of $635. All right, so I'm going to want to add that to my monthly budget estimate, my monthly income estimate. All right, let's see what that brings us to. $41.35. All right, that brings us to $41.35 that we have to work with for the month. And for those of you that are new, I do add these sinking fund amounts that I plan to use, which are savings that I already have put aside. They're already in my high yield savings. I put those in there so that at the end of the month when I see my expenses, I know why more money was spent than what came in income. So I count that as part of my income. A lot of things that I've learned, I've adapted to myself, which I also recommend you do. So when you see these videos, take what you can from it, maybe start trying it. And you'll find things that don't work for you, so you can always change and adapt that. Every budget is not going to look the same, and it shouldn't. Every family is a little bit different. Everyone's priorities are different. Everyone's income is different. So, of course, you want to alter that to your budget. Budget is a very personal thing. All right, so based on our monthly cheat sheet, and I did make a new one of these. Here's my expense cheat sheet. So you'll see what I plan every 2 weeks to take out of each paycheck for automatic savings, expenses, etc., etc. I break my paychecks down to A and B, and that's just to make sure that I have a similar amount that coming from each paycheck for my fixed expenses or bills. And then, of course, this is my reminder for my semi-annuals when I do my monthly budgets. And then, my wallet expenses, things that I use every 2 weeks, like gas, groceries, toiletries, things that we all need. And then I have more savings here. So I have this written out, and I've also, to change it up a little bit, because, variety is the spice of life for me. I get bored really quickly. I also made a budget by category breakdown cheat sheet. So this is what I have in each of my budget categories that I track. So I thought maybe this might make it easier to do my bi-weekly budgets when I use my bi-weekly budget book, because that's how, let me show you, easier to understand when you can see it. I'll show you an old one. Because that's how I track my income and compare it to what I budgeted for those 2 weeks. So maybe I'll try it this way. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe you want me to try this on one of my paycheck budgets. But for now, what we're going to do, $41.35 is what we're starting with. Our automatic savings for the month, I know that I want to put aside for November, $300. All right. All right, that brings me down to $38.35. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. I really need it. I appreciate it. It does help me out a lot. I'm really trying to get these videos out to more people. And of course, it helps me out financially. So any dollar helps. I appreciate it. All right, $38.35. And then next thing that comes out, well, let's give you the breakdown of what's going to go in automatic savings this month. My budget map. All right, we're gonna put $100 in car emergency, and I did have to use that, unfortunately. So again, we're building back car emergency. The emergency funds just never last. I'm sorry, that's gonna be $200. I forget that's for the month. And then for the car note, I'm putting some more money into that each month. So I can pay that off sooner. It's only down to about, I think, $5,000 to $6,000 left. So fingers crossed that everything goes the way that I need it to, so that we can get that done by next year. $38.35 is what we're left with. Okay, so then the next thing that's going to come out is going to be our, I am going to go ahead and do it the budget category way. Next thing that's going to come out is going to be our home expenses. So home expenses, let's branch this out and see what it totals for home. We have $910 for the mortgage. I'm just going to write these out so you guys can see. All right, let's see. All right, that gives us a total of $14.53 for our home category. And that's going to bring us down to $23.82. Okay. The next category that I take care of is going to be food. I think that's the next important one. A food category, that only includes two things. That's going to include our grocery and toiletry budget. I did that set up wrong. And then dining. So for dining, it's going to get less than it normally gets this year because this month, because I need to put more in grocery. So we're going to do, for grocery, I'm going to add $100 more because of Thanksgiving. Forgot to put that in there. It's just going to come from the paycheck budget. So I'm not going to worry about that. So for grocery and toiletries, normally it would be $430 a month. I'm going to give it $530. And for dining, we have decreased that to $120 for the month. I feel like that's still a lot. I don't even know if I'm going to cook this year. But we'll just put $120 for the month. Honestly, that's not a lot because anytime we go out to eat or even fast food, it's about $30. And that's definitely something I need to work on because that's an expense I can definitely decrease. I'm working on it. All right, that brings us down to $17.32. We're taking money off of dining little by little each pay period, so that I can get down to you spending nothing on it. $17.32. Next thing that's going to come out is our debt. And the only debt that I have, yay me, is my student loan. And that is because I no longer have my credit card bill. I keep doing this wrong. I'm just moving too fast for my own good. All right, and that's going to zero out. That's the only thing we have in debt. So let's see. It's going to bring us to $16.89. All right. Next thing would be health, but I don't have any plans on spending anything in health. But since it goes on my budget sheet, I'm just gonna put it in there anyway, just in case I do end up spending, so I could add that to our actual budget expenses. Okay, next thing is going to be transportation. For transportation, there's only 2 things that come out of there, so that's an easy one for me to figure out. That's going to be $227. That's going to be $100 for gas for the month, and then my car insurance, I'm putting $127 for the month. That zeroes out. It's going to bring us down to $14.62. All right, so that's what we have left. We're going to take money out for personal. So for personal, that goes in my wallet. I'm going to add the $75 for events in there. And then I'm going to add my mom's spend envelope, which I usually put $100 for the month, and in my daughter's spend envelope, $50 for a month. So $225, we're going to say is personal. That's only the 2 envelopes that I'm going to count as personal. It's going to bring us to $1237. All right, so personal is $75 for the event, $100 for mom's spend, and $50 for her spend. Pooh. And it's not always, we don't always spend money out of her envelope. It's just in case she needs something. I do still cover her needs even though she has her own job. Anything she needs, I cover. Anything she wants, most of the time I cover too. But I'm trying to be better at letting her take care of those things. All right, $1237 is what we come down to. What's next? What do we need to... Okay, so we got events taken care of. We got a water bill. Black Friday, Christmas, that has to come out. Okay, $1237. Next thing is going to be... Oh, I should have put that in entertainment. That's my Dollar Tree. That works just as good as the other ones. Let's take that $75 out and let's make this $150. I really could have did that in my head. Alright. That instead will be $13.12. Alright, because I want to put that $75 in entertainment. So entertainment is going to be $75 for that event. And then I have those... Question of the day is, when you do your monthly budget, for those of you that are, long-time budgeters, do you go back and see what you actually spent? How good are you at tracking your expenses? It's something that I struggled with, but now I am doing it digitally, which makes it so much easier. I have to say, spending from the bank account directly makes it a lot easier just to go back and see what I spent, where I spent it, and then I can determine what category it was spent from. So that definitely is making it a lot easier. So I am excited to see at the end of this pay period, the one I'm in now, how much I spent versus how much I plan to spend. So I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I want you to always remember it is about progression and not about perfection. Thanks for watching and happy saving. Bye. Entertainment bills, which is YouTube subscription and Netflix. They're pink. Entertainment is pink. There's plus 9 and plus 8 is $92 for entertainment. That's the plan for the month. Okay, that zeroes out. Gonna bring us down to $12.20. That's left. What comes after entertainment? Our other miscellaneous category. So in that is my miscellaneous wallet envelope. Christmas in there too. So it would be $40 for the wallet, $20 for pet for the budget, and then we have $500 for Christmas. $560 is gonna go here. $560 for miscellaneous. Running out of room. Doesn't usually happen when I do it the other way. It's going to bring us down to $660 left after everything we need to take care of is taken care of. So for miscellaneous, that's going to bring us to, let's see, $500 we set for Christmas, $40 in our wallet envelope, and $20 for pet. All right, $660. So this $660, the rest of that is going to go to our savings. So normally per month it would be $10.60 for savings. So it looks like less is going to savings. Well, we saved $300 up here. So let's see. About $100 less is going to savings, and that makes sense because we put $100 more into grocery. So that's where that came from. All right, $660 is our remaining savings. And then that's going to zero us out, zero-based budget. Let's see how we break down our savings. We have the Always Fund here. Normally $700 would come out of that, but of course we don't have $700 left. So I'm going to have to do some breakdowns on what we're going to save. No extra utilities, that's definitely a priority. So we're going to do $80 for extra utilities. That's a priority. Home maintenance, also a priority. These are in order of priority. So $60 is going to go there for the month. Christmas is going to get more. I want to do $150 for Christmas. Of course, because it's crunch time, and I didn't start Christmas until way too late this year. So we're going to do $150 for Christmas. College travel, that's for my daughter if she wants to go to any college visits. That's also a priority, so we're going to do $60 for that. My miscellaneous envelope or my miscellaneous savings is going to get $60. I still want to make sure, I have some money for myself because that's still important. $40 goes into family fun each month. Her clothing envelope, $40 each month. And that's going to be for next year's school clothes, which is going to be the last time buying school clothes. Well, school clothes for a regular school, not college. I don't expect to have to spend a lot on her clothes this coming year because she has her own job. So I will have her, put a couple $100 towards it. Just so she knows the value of money. She's slowly learning now that she has her own. What does that bring us to? Let's see. Because I want also to have a little bit of money left for the other sinking funds. That brings us to $490. And what would that leave us with? That would leave us with $170. All right, so $490 for our Always Fund. Anything that I missed? The 100 envelope is supposed to be in here. What we're going to put for the 100 envelope? I'm going to put 120 for the 100 envelope because I need to get that done. What? This is backwards. I need to get that done. The 100 envelope. Yeah, I really need to do that. So what did I say? 120 for the 100 envelope. My goal is to start saving $200 in there since we no longer have to pay for the, let's see, it was $490. Since I no longer have to pay my credit card bill, I can move that right over. All right, $610 is what we're taking. So that's going to leave us with $50 for our other sinking funds or don't sink funds or savings. All right, so in there, that's pretty easy. I know that I want some money to go to our miscellaneous savings. And that's for anything that pops up that we need on a whim that doesn't fit into the other categories. So we're going to do, like the last time I used it on a deep freezer that we needed suddenly. $30 in there. And then the other $20 I'm going to put towards our next vacation because now I definitely want to go on more. All right, so that's it. That's the breakdown of the monthly budget. I'm going to do my color coding. Do I have all of my colors? Let me see. All right, here are all of my colors. I have a lot that I need to get done today, so I need to get to it. But let's see. So we have our debt loan. Let's just do this quick. All right, that is my monthly budget projection for the month of November. That's done. That's quick. That's easy. Now, I did start to write out some goals. So I'm going to walk half hour a day, 6 days a week. So even though I'm not doing the 12-week year, I am going to break down the month and I'm still going to use the same strategies. It's just for a shorter period of time. So I'm going to give each goal a point system. I'm going to habit track, and then at the end of the month, I'll go in, or the end of the 2 weeks, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I'll go in and check to see where I am with each of the goals in the point system. Goal is 85%. So half hour walk, 6 days a week, wake up at 5:15, Monday through Friday during the week. That'll help me get something done in the morning, one of my chores I need to do. Film once a week because I'm getting back into the swing of things. October was very quiet. Bed at 9 p.m. between Sunday through Thursday. No spends at least 4 days a week. And I have 2 projects this month I want to get done. I want to make sure I clean off and bring in all of my patio furniture, shrink wrap the windows and, porch doors, entryways for to keep in the heat. And then I do want to finalize a Christmas list for, I don't usually buy for other people outside of my daughter, but I do want to start doing that. I have a few people that I want to buy gifts for, and I need to make a budget for each of those things. So that's kind of newer for me. Usually I just buy for my daughter. I didn't grow up celebrating Christmas, so, getting in the swing of different things is something I'm easing myself into. But I do want to make a plan and make sure that I'm not, trying to give too much, because I can only do what I can do. But my daughter is priority for me. All right, November's all set and ready to go. Let's see how this month goes. I'm excited about it. We have our savings goal over here on the side. But when I know, when it gets closer to my next paycheck, for the first paycheck of November, I will be able to give you guys actual numbers and an actual plan for each paycheck instead of just the whole month. Question of the day is, when you do your monthly budget, for those of you that are, longtime budgeters, do you go back and see what you actually spent? How good are you at tracking your expenses? It's something that I struggled with, but now I am doing it digitally, which makes it so much easier. I have to say, spending from the bank account directly makes it a lot easier just to go back and see what I spent, where I spent it, and then I can determine what category it was spent from. So that definitely is making it a lot easier. So I am excited to see at the end of this pay period, the one I'm in now, how much I spent versus how much I plan to spend. So I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I want you to always remember it is about progression and not about perfection. Thanks for watching and happy saving. Bye.